Kamusta mga Subuanon? It's Sigrid here. For the third episode of our Sugbu-tiful town feature videos, we are bringing back the Camino de Santiago, Compostela, Cebu. Camino de Santiago was previously featured in Season 1 of our series. You may watch that here. Now in our Season 2 of the series, we will be looking deep into the origin and the beginning of our very own Camino. As the adage goes, life is a journey. And as individuals, we go through this journey differently, traversing different paths and having diverse experiences. More than moving from one place to another, journeys are often fulfilling activities that enable the individual to reflect and evaluate their life and their surroundings. There is a specific physical journey known as pilgrimage, carried out as a devotional practice to attain a higher understanding of either the self, nature, or specifically of the individual's faith. It is usually done on foot, walking great distances for several days, weeks, months, and even years, depending on the individual and their specific paths traveled. In some of the world's major religions, a pilgrimage is a traditional spiritual practice, best done on specific dates to align with specific feasts and celebrations within their calendar. Pilgrimages are unstructured journeys of experience and discovery, and whatever these experiences and discoveries are depends entirely on the individual. In the city of Santiago de Compostela, Spain, the remains of the first martyr among Jesus Christ's 12 apostles, St. James the Great, can be found within the city's Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela. The name Santiago is the Galician translation of the Apostol's Latin name. He is also identified with the name St. James the Greater, distinguishing him from the Apostle St. James the Less or Lesser. It was the remains of Santiago, St. James the Great, that was discovered in Galicia, Spain in the 9th century. According to legend, his body carried by his followers reached present-day Padron, Spain. From there, he was further carried inland to what is now the city of Santiago de Compostela, said to be named after him. The discovery of Santiago's remains urged the king of the land, Alfonso II, to travel on foot to behold the apostle's relic. King Alfonso II is thought to be the first pilgrim of what we now know as the Camino de Santiago, a network of pilgrimages leading to Santiago's burial site inside the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela, Spain. One of the icons of the Camino de Santiago pilgrimage is that of the scallop shell, believed to be what was found covering Santiago's remains upon discovery. The lines in the shell also symbolizes the many routes of the pilgrimage. Outside of Spain, there is only one other Camino de Santiago pilgrimage in the world. This is our very own Camino de Santiago, Cebu, in the northern municipality of Compostela. The first pilgrimage was conducted in the year 2017, pioneered by 9 pilgrims or peregrinos, as they are all referred to when undertaking the Camino de Santiago pilgrimage. Later, in 2019, after the first Camino, Compostela Cebu received its spiritual bond of affinity from the Metropolitan Archdiocese of Santiago de Compostela, Spain. This was marked by the arrival of a stone relic taken from the remains of the Roman mausoleum that housed the urn containing the venerated remains of Santiago, St. James the Great. The relic's arrival was attended by devotees of Santiago, celebrating not only the official acknowledgement of Spain to our own Camino de Santiago, Cebu, but also coincidentally Compostela Cebu's 100th year as a chartered town. Any pilgrim or peregrino who will undertake Cebu's Camino shall now, by decree and acknowledgement of Spain, receive the same indulgences, privileges, and blessings obtained by the peregrinos following the longer pilgrimage network in Spain. Currently, there are 2 routes to our local Camino, both ending at the Archdiocesan Shrine of Santiago Apostol de Compostela, Cebu, and following the mountain paths of the island. One is the longer 175-kilometer 10-day pilgrimage starting from the St. James Parish in Badjan. The other is a 30-kilometer 2-day walk that goes around the whole municipality of Compostela. In Cebu, there are 3 parishes dedicated to the patronage of St. James the Great. One is the St. James Parish of Badjan, the oldest parish in his name. Second is the St. James the Apostol Parish in the municipality of Sogod, and the youngest being the municipality of Compostela's Archdiocesan Shrine of Santiago Apostol. When conducting the Camino, peregrinos are told that their Camino begins the moment they leave their home. They are, thus, instructed to take any stone from home to carry throughout their journey. The 10-day pilgrimage takes off at the municipality of Badjan's St. James Parish. By way of the mountain paths, peregrinos will travel towards Manlapay in Dalagete to the parish of Our Lady of Consolacion. Throughout the following journey, they are all to stop at the specific parishes and chapels found in the trail. Going through Colawin in Argao at the parish of Our Lady of Immaculate Conception, and passing through the San Isidro Labrador parishes of Montalongon, Barili, and Calidngan, Carcar City, the peregrinos will continue to Magsico, San Fernando, at the San Agustin de Hippo Parish. The trail continues to San Pedro Calungsod Parish in Cantabaco, Toledo City. Upon entering Cebu City, the pilgrims will be led to the parish of St. John the Baptist Quasi in Sudlon 1, then towards St. John Vianney Parish in Babag 1, and to the chapel in Pungol, Sibugay, and to the Santo Niño Parish in Guba, Cebu City, and finally to the Cross of Triumph or the Jordan Cross in Bangalanga, Compostela, where the peregrinos are to leave the stones they've carried throughout their journey. The last and final stop of the Camino de Santiago, Cebu, is the Archdiocesan Shrine of Santiago Apostol de Compostela.
Ang Camino gid, it's a walk. Kuan na siya kani unsay nga na siya kana bang kalihukan na to strengthen your faith with God. No, mao na ang Camino. This is a walk for God asa ka padung, then to para morabag nagunahuna ka nga kung at the time of Jesus Christ, kung di ba nagsunod jud ka ni Jesus Christ, ug unsa gyud ang imong bation. Kaya kana magong Camino, deprive man gud ka sa imong comfort, no? Deprive ka sa imong comfort, deprive ka sa imong safety. Ana kanindot kay mga feelings nimo ma'am nga maglakaw ka. Maka-feel gud ka nga naay Ginoo kuyog nimo. Mao jud na ang Camino. There's always God with you. Di ka mahadlok. And one thing also sa akong naobserbaran ma'am, kanang tanang magkamino on the 10th day, finishing day na ma'am, no? Gikan sa ibabaw. Ako itong naobserbaran ma'am for how many days? Or for how many kanang pilgrims nga nagbuhat ma'am? Kung dili sila uwanan ma'am, taligsikan gud sila. Taligsikan gud sila. A light shower or whatever, a light heavy shower or what, ang uban mauwanan. Para na mo, pag-abot na mo dire, we stay there. All along the way here, giuwanan man gud mi. Katong pagsugod na mo, unya, katong mga following nga pilgrims, ang mga nag-follow nga pilgrims, sila gyud tanan ma'am. Kadaghanan gyud, 90%, oh, nag-abot sa Compostela, whether pag-start nila sa last chapel, or gikan sila natog, na-adjoy shower ma'am, na-adjoy shower. Maudjud na ma'am, ang ako yung the most kuan gyud nga giobserbaran ako mao lagi na beyond your comfort, beyond everything, out from your comfort zone, everything would be all right as long as you walk with faith with God. Ana jud na ma'am, mao gyud giobserbaran ako nga mao sa naisulti sa kadaghanas mga taong nang lakaw dire.
In 2016, the municipality of Compostela celebrated its 150th year as a parish. It was at this time that then church priest Father Scipio Dalihero, together with the priests and officers of the church, began to ponder what was next for the parish. In that time, a series of fortuitous and perhaps serendipitous events led to the completion and subsequent acknowledgement of the first Camino de Santiago pilgrimage in Cebu. It all started with the vision of its church members to cultivate and create something out of its 150th year as a parish. Next was the willingness and commitment of the pioneering peregrinos to accomplish the 10-day, 100-kilometer pilgrimage walk in the mountains of Cebu. Around that time, there was a timely proposal of a local businessman That resulted in the construction of the Cross of Triumph. In July of 2017, the first Camino de Cebu was completed, and later in that year, the Archdiocese of Compostela, Cebu received an invitation to join the 2018 National Congress for Parishes under the patronage of Santiago. This was the first Congress in the Philippines, initiated by the Confraternity of St. James in Alabang, Muntinlupa City. It was a venue to promote for the devotion of St. James and making him known. There, Cebu's Camino de Santiago was introduced by some of the Camino de Santiago's pioneering peregrinos. By the end of the first National Congress in 2018, it was decided that Compostela, Cebu was to be the host for the 2019 Second National Congress of the Senior Santiago Apostol Parishes and Devotees. The Camino de Santiago pilgrimage was the very center of activities for this National Congress, and it was there that the two-day Camino began. 2019 was also the 100th year anniversary of Compostela as a town. To celebrate the occasion, the 11.5-foot Botafumero, or thurible, was unveiled in the same year. Its completion was made possible by the support of anonymous donations from Santiago devotees preparing for the anniversary. These series of events led to the creation of the spiritual bond of affinity between the Metropolitan Archdiocese of Santiago de Compostela, Spain, and the Archdiocesan Shrine of Santiago Apostol de Compostela, Cebu. For the pioneering peregrinos, all these were the work and machination of Santiago, the patron of the Camino.
Pahitabo na kay mura man og automatic nga ang naa nga makita nimo nga mga importanteng kanang ingredients inuntang punga ba didto sa Espanya sa Camino nahitabo man without us asking, without us initiating. Nabutang si cross, nabutang si Botafumero, nakaingon ta, it's not us, ay may pasanginli. It's ato lang ipasangin ni Santiago. Nakakita kag mga tao nga willing moingon, sige, manglakaw ta. Unya, murag, kung mutuo ta, gipahigayon ang tanan. Gani, wa sa may magplano sa sinugdanan nga ingon ani kadako ang amo lang para raman kami sa parokya. Timing sa 100 years sa lungsod. Timing nga na additional grasya ang lungsod sa iyang pagka 100 years. Ang landmark nga ang Botafumero ug ang spiritual bond of affinity sa Espanya, sa Archdiocese of Compostela sa Espanya ug sa Archdiocese of Cebu. Atong ilon nga si Santiago ang nagdapit. Siyasad ang nagpahigayon sa kanang kalihukan. Naipanawagan na mo dito labi na sa mga tagas na gidad nga atimana og pa-check up yun og atimana inyong panglawas. Nindot sa tingali ang calling ba nga atimanon sa dangatong kahimtang sa atong kalag sa atong espiritu. Nindot ni nga ika-offer nara sa atong tugkaran ang gitawag lagi inumdungkon ni Lola Santos Ejercicio. Suway ang Santiago, ang Camino de Santiago sa Compostela, Cebu. Pagkamino, lakaw. Natong timanan ang imong paglakaw, ang imong lakang, imong pagampo, imong lakaw panaw. Kahigayunan nga mahimamat nimo ang Ginoo. Nindot nila greetings sa mga pilgrims, peregrino. Buen Camino.
Mga Sugbuanons, I hope we caught your interest in doing the Camino de Santiago pilgrimage. It is a unique experience that will test not only your physical endurance, but also your mental and spiritual strength. It calls us to look within ourselves as we travel the arduous path through the mountains of Cebu. When you do sign up for the pilgrim, whether it be for the 10-day or 2-day trail, don't forget to tag us at the Cavilion Center Facebook account. Next episode, we'll look into practices that are directed to the Virgin Mary, the unique Marian devotions of Cebu. So, click like and follow at the Cavilion Center. And remember, Sugbu becomes more beautiful when you know more about it with Sugbu-tiful town feature videos. See ya!
Hoy comamos y bebamos y cantemos y olvidemos.